Welcome to Frequency Friday. This is where I share with you the frequency of literally anything. So let's dive in. I'm going to tell you some stories about the frequency of clothing, about how wearing a piece of clothing and the energy in it is going to be interacting with your energy. Because fabric absorbs energy. Think of it like a net. Because if you zoom in on fabric, it's going to look very much like a net. And depending on the material that the fabric is constructed with, I love that these are going around. There are these videos about the frequency of fabric and about how polyester has the same frequency of a diseased and dying person, whereas cottons have a supportive frequency that are a little bit above our human frequency, and then also linen is a frequency of a freaking 1,000. And hospitals used to use linen for sheets for their patients and to help their patients recover. And I notice when I wear linen that I feel better. I just feel better. But that aside, that's not really what I'm talking about. I just wanted to mention it. If you haven't seen those, look it up. It's so worth looking up. The frequencies of fabrics, about how polyester is so low frequency, and about how cottons and linens are higher frequency. And it kind of blows my mind. Like when I'm out shopping, I'll find this really expensive article of clothing and the material will be garbage, complete garbage. So I'm like, what is being paid for here? Because it's clearly not quality. It's clearly not quality. I have been in the process of transitioning all of my entire wardrobe. I'm just getting rid of all my polyester and moving completely into cottons and linen blends because I just feel better in them. Back when I had my healing practice in Las Cruces, New Mexico, it was a pretty cool setup because my house, it was this cool historic home. And it was actually set up to where you could also have an office in the home. So I had an office in the home. And I was in my healing room, and my daughter, she was a teenager at the time, she comes home from high school and she's got a freaking massive entity on her. She had a massive entity on her. And I was like, whoa, I gotta get this off you. I'm like, get on the healing table. She gets on the healing table. Oh, by the way, she's wearing this big hoodie. There's this big hoodie, like a big black hoodie. She even had like the hood over her head and everything. She was just like, the angsty teenage vibe. So, put her on my healing table. And I'm like trying to get this entity off of her, and I'm using my bells. And then my healing bells, and I'm just like ringing them, trying to get this entity to like loosen its grip, get it off of her, because it was like really on her. So I'm ringing my bells, I'm ringing my bells, I'm ringing my bells, and I'm just thinking, my God, how am I gonna get this thing off of her? And I'm struggling to knock him off with the bells, and I'm hitting him with all the Reiki symbols, all the spirit release symbols, the Honshizi Shonet. So I'm just like, I'm inviting the divine team, inviting the angels, like, please help me get this off her. And finally I'm like, honey, take off your hoodie. So she takes off the hoodie and I take it outside and I lay it on the porch, like over the railing so the sunlight could touch it, because it was the hoodie that had the entity on it. And I couldn't get the freaking entity off that hoodie. I had to get the hoodie off of her. Then, like, looking at her, and it's not on her anymore. And I'm thinking, like, this is so strange. That hoodie had the entity on it. And when she puts the hoodie on, she's putting the entity on with it. And that was back before I had discovered Osha spray, because I have found that this spray that I make, I call it Osha spray because it has Osha root in it. it does a pretty dang good job of clearing the energy fabrics. But at the time, I hadn't discovered this yet. So I was like, I don't know how to clear this hoodie. And I'm looking at it and I don't even recognize it. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't even know where this hoodie came from. So I asked her, like, where did you get that hoodie? And she's all, oh, it was in the unclaimed, lost and found. So I just took it. I was like, oh my God. Oh. You know, entities love teenagers. Teenagers are basically like psychic batteries. So anyway, I was like, well, how much do you love this hoodie? Like, do you really want to keep it? Because, I mean, it's got an entity on it. And she was like, well, yeah, I liked it. There's a, you know, like, I got it for a reason. So I was all, oh my God. So I was like, but I was curious. I wanted to know if I could clear that freaking hoodie. So I left it outside in the sunlight on the, you know, railing in the sunlight on the front porch. And it wasn't clearing. It was not clearing. And I was like, I wonder if I wash it, if that would clear it. So I washed it, didn't clear it. It was stubborn. I finally just had to throw away that hoodie. I was like, I'm sorry, honey, but no. It was a really powerful learning opportunity for me that entities can attach into objects, and they can especially attach into fabrics. And so, you know, it had caught a ride, and they'll do that. They will hitchhike, and they will hitchhike into your life and your energy on objects, on personal belongings, and especially fabrics. So that brings us to another story. And fast forward, this was like a year ago. I was thrifting in Taylorville, Illinois, with my older daughter, who's now grown. She's not a teenager anymore. She's in her 20s now. And she was visiting, and we went thrifting because she loves to go thrifting. So we're at this thrift store in Taylorville, Illinois, and I find these really cute shirts. I'm going to travel to Georgia to visit my son for the holidays. So I packed this shirt, and I'm staying at a hotel on the drive on my road trip. I get this shirt out, I put it on, and I'm noticing that I'm suddenly like super irritable. I was in like hardcore bitch mode, and I'm never like that. So I didn't catch on right away. I'm walking to my car to load up because it's time to check out. I'm wearing this shirt I got from the thrift store. And on my way to the car, there was this couple with a little dog, and this little dog just starts barking at me. He's just like, and I'm just trying to get all my suitcases, get my stuff. Like, I just woke up, on a hotel, hadn't had my coffee. I'm trying to get the suitcases to the car to load up my car, load up my 5-year-old, myself. And this freaking little dog was so loud, and this couple are just standing there with their rude little dog, just like at me. And I'm just like, I glared at them so hard. I gave them the like meanest look. I was just like, you know, the extent of the ability you have to offer positive energy is also the same extent that you have to offer negative energy. I was like giving him like a hardcore like angry look, and the dog. It was so funny too, because the dog just like stopped barking all, and they were just like all shocked. But I'm just like, how freaking rude. They're like literally right by my car. I'm trying to get my suitcases in. It's just rude. They have this little dog barking at me. And it was still just not like me. I noticed that was not characteristic of me at all. So I was like, oh, it's the freaking shirt. It was the energy of the vibe of the woman who owned the shirt before. She must have just been really intolerant and maybe aggro and rude, and so I was like, I'm gonna change this shirt. I mean, I had a shirt on underneath it, but I like take it off. It's like, this is going in the garbage can. I'm not gonna wear this shirt. What else was I gonna do with it? Find a place to donate one single shirt so that another woman can come along and buy it and get all aggro and mean and whatever. And no, I just put it in the trash can. It was done with it. And it was even of a higher quality fabric. So, like, I was absorbing the energy of that woman when I put that shirt on. And it was affecting my mood. It was affecting how I was thinking. And I don't know, maybe the dog was sensing the energy on that shirt, and that's why he was barking. Maybe that little dog was doing me a favor, right? It's just interesting. So, and not just your clothes, when you think about the energies of fabric. So think about fabric like a net. An energy, fabric is like a net that catches and holds energy. So think of fabric like a net that will catch and hold energy. It will hold the energy of the person who's wearing it. It'll also catch and hold the energy of the environment, like your curtains. Very often when I do space clearing or home clearing, the curtains will have so much energy on them. A carpet will have so much, especially the carpet. Because think about it, like people are walking around. What's the root chakra? The root chakra is pointing down. Wait, I'm gonna do my hand. I'll do this little guy. Right? The root chakra is pointing down. So anything in the root chakra, the energy of the root chakra is pointing down. So anything in a person's root chakra is what's going to happen. It's going to infuse the ground that they're walking on. And vice versa. Whatever is on the ground is going to be affecting their root chakra. But that's why carpet or fabric or rugs are going to absorb a lot of energy from the person's root chakra. When my father passed away and I had to sell his house, we couldn't get a single showing. And it was in a really desirable area. But we still couldn't get a single showing. And my realtor was even like, this is a little bit uncharacteristic. So I told her, well, let's just take out the carpet, put new carpet in, and take down the curtains. So she took down the curtains and she replaced the carpet. And then I think we had it under contract within a week of it getting new carpet and her taking down the curtains. A lot of times people will leave up the old curtains, or if you go into a rental and there's curtains there, change the curtains. Do not ever stay in a rental that has existing curtains, or if you buy a house and it has existing curtains, like change the freaking curtains. And if we're talking about something that's like specialty, window treatments that were maybe designed specifically for the window, and it's not as easy as just taking down curtains, throwing them away, getting fresh curtains, then you want to clear that. You want to clear them. And again, like I said, the OSHA spray works really good for clearing fabric. I'm not selling it. I'm just helping you. Actually, there was a time when I did sell it and I sold out really quick and I just didn't make more. But it's so easy. All you do is you get a glass bottle and you get a piece of OSHA root and eucalyptus essential oil. Actually, I'll show you. To make OSHA spray, which is going to be probably some of the most powerful energy clearing spray you've ever worked with, it'll blow your mind. A glass bottle, make sure it's glass because we're using essential oil. A glass bottle, essential oil of eucalyptus, and just a little piece of OSHA root. Okay? I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it smells so good. Oh God, it smells so good. And you're going to put the root in the bottle and put the essential oil. You don't have to get like all crazy precise with measurements. Just put a chunk of the root in the bottle. Put as much eucalyptus as you want in there. I usually go kind of heavy with it, but that's just me. If I only had a little bottle, I'd probably only do a few drops, but I have a big bottle, so I'll do like a dropper full of them, or a couple. And then fill it up with water, shake it, and there is your most powerful OSHA spray, energy clearing spray. It will blow your mind. It does so good. and it will clear fabrics. So you can spray your curtains. I use this a lot in space clearing. I use it to clear my space. It has a whole story with it that I'll save for a future video, but I did want to give you the recipe for it so that you can make yourself some OSHA spray so that you can use it on your fabrics. It has been one of the few things that I have found to clear fabric, but some fabrics just won't clear, like that hoodie. Although, to be fair, I didn't have OSHA at the time, or my OSHA spray at the time. But give it a try. I had a client who she had this gorgeous house, and it had been on the market for I think she had been on the market for a year. And she could not get it sold. And it was it was a really fancy house in New Mexico. It was one of those really gorgeous, villa style. It was a beautiful home. And so she hires me to clear the house for her because she needed to get it sold. And so I go in, and really the main things that I did was I removed the rugs that they left there, and I went around the outside of the house and I OSHA sprayed the wall, the stucco wall, all around the outside of the house. And I OSHA sprayed the outside of the house, and I OSHA sprayed practically the whole house. And you know what's cool, and I need to tell you about this, is when you run out, just refill it with water again and eucalyptus. I've had the same root in this bottle for over a year. And when I run out, I just fill it up again with water, a little more essential oil, and it's good to go. And occasionally I'll add a fresh root, a little piece of fresh root. But because OSHA is so special and it can't be propagated, you want to be working with its power in a way that is long lasting, and OSHA spray is one of those ways. All it takes is one little tiny bit of root to create a lot of powerful healing with. So you can OSHA spray your carpets, OSHA your thresholds. I'll be doing a space clearing video soon where I will demonstrate more of that. Spray your curtains, spray your carpet, spray your clothes. One more story about the energy of fabrics. I had been going through a lot of trauma in my life, and I was noticing, and I was doing a lot of healing work on recovering, and I was doing really good. But some days were really, really hard, right? Some days were harder than others. But I'm not even sure how I made this connection, but I randomly made this connection where every time I wore a certain pair of pants was my hard day. And I was my angels must have drawn my attention to it. Because every time I would put on this pair of pants, I would just instantly feel depressed. My energy would just go from here, whoop, to here. And I thought about it once I made the realization, and I realized oh my God, these were the pants that I was wearing when I found out that my husband died. That, when you get news like that, it just sends a shockwave through your system. And that energy is going to absorb into the fabrics that are on your body, because they're like a net that catch energy. So the energy, pulse of shock and trauma, just infuse all my clothes. And once I made that connection, I was well, I can't wear these pants anymore. I took the pants off and I felt better instantly. And so of course I got rid of those pants. And I know there's a lot of sustainability thing, and we gotta love the earth and we don't want stuff in landfills, and I get that. I totally get that. But what's the alternative? If you can't clear a piece of fabric, and you know that it's gonna make someone else depressed, or it's got an entity on it, do you really want to basically curse someone else with that experience? No. I put that shit in the garbage. It goes in the garbage can. That's just how I handle it. Again, you do you, but that's what I do. And so getting you to think about fabric and how it affects how you feel about yourself, and when you clean out your closet and ask yourself, does this piece of clothing make me feel good about myself? If you're going through depression and you're trying to get out of it, what clothes were you wearing when you were going through depression? You know, here is your divine permission to get yourself new clothes. How awesome is that? Your angels are giving you permission to get new clothes if your clothes are holding depression energy and old you energy in it. They're saying that it's okay. And it's cool because usually when the angels and guides direct me to purchase something, an angel sanctioned purchase, they're always going to bring in the money for it. It's awesome. I love an angel sanctioned purchase because it's completely guilt free. I don't have to be like, yeah, but I shouldn't be spending money on myself. I should be being more careful with my money, or I should be paying my bills with this, or I should be blah, blah, blah. No, if your angels direct you to purchase something, then they're going to cover you. They're going to bring money in for you to cover the purchase of that you needed to get. Whether it be a gemstone, pendant, clothes, something that they are directing you to get that's going to serve you and support you in your greatest and highest. Yeah. Thank you for watching my Frequency Friday video on clothing. Hopefully it gets you to start thinking about your clothing and how it's affecting you energetically. Hopefully you go make yourself some OSHA spray with a little bit of OSHA root, eucalyptus, and water. Shake it up. It'll last forever. And tune in next Friday for the next Frequency Friday. And thank you for watching. Thank you for being one of my subscribers. Thank you for being in my community. I'm so grateful to you, and I really look forward to our future together. And it means a lot to me that you're here and that you're supporting. Thank you.